So the other day I was watching some Star Wars stuff and started thinking that, the Inquisitors are just the canon version of the Emperor's hands. Well, not all the hands had lightsabers or were force sensitive. They were still the best the Empire had to deal with specific situations, and some of them did. So I was starting to think who would win between a group of the hands and the Inquisitors. And after a few seconds of thinking, this image popped into my mind. Now hear me out, let's take a look at these groups. First we have the Inquisitors. It's a group of roughly 9 to 11 Force-sensitive individuals with specialized lightsabers. They were all mostly Jedi Padawans that Vader and Palpatine took and turned to the dark side. The leader/strongest member of the Inquisitors is the Grand Inquisitor, who was a Temple Guard and Jedi Knight at the time of the fall and his turn to the dark side. And Kanan Jarrus is a Padawan who never finished his training after reconnecting to the Force completely, was able to defeat him, and each subsequent Inquisitor gets weaker from there. Now the Emperor's hands were a more diverse group. Not all of them wielded lightsabers, some were star pilots, and everyone had unique skills special to them. They had 13 to 14 members, but for this battle all we really need to look at is the two I know pretty well, Mara Jade and Lumaya. Sidious used Jade to spy on Vader after Episode 5 in case he turned against him, and she was there on Tatooine when Luke was fighting the Hutts, and Luke said that if she had joined in, he would not have made it off the planet alive. Lumaya was the first conceived apprentice of Vader before even that bald, edgy boy. Having finished her training under Vader during Episode 6, she was constructing her lightsaber, or famous light whip, and was not there to help at the Battle of Endor. When she realized her master and leader had been killed, she went after the perpetrator Luke, and during their first fight beat him, and it took Luke some prep time and making a Shoto saber to be able to fight and beat her the second time, not without difficulty. So now we see that both of these lovely ladies are roughly in the league of Luke and Vader from Episode 6. Now, how do the Inquisitors exactly scale up to that Vader, considering that one's legends and one's canon, so hard to compare them 1-to-1. Well, like I said, Kanan fought the strongest Inquisitor, the Grand Inquisitor, and later, fortunately for us, did fight Vader, so let's compare how that went. Kanan, borrowing an extra lightsaber, was just able to beat the Grand Inquisitor, and then Kanan and Ezra together got their butts mopped across the battlefield by Vader ragdolling them. So clearly Vader is stronger than the strongest Inquisitor, and by a good bit. Then it gets worse when we look at the comics, because Vader trained all the Inquisitors, and just for practice would chop off their hands in duels to try to make them stronger. So now we have 11 supporting fighters, and not one, but 2 Vaders, to fight all of the Inquisitors. It's not gonna end well for them.